Hello, Homeworthy. Happy holidays. Welcome to my home in Dallas. I'm Javier Burkle. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. Be sure to visit our website, homeworthy.com, to discover amazing furniture, art, accessories, and more, all handpicked by our editors to help transform your house into a home. All of the items are inspired by the episodes you see here on Homeworthy. Enjoy!
Welcome back, Homeworthy. Super excited to have you all over again. This is going to be a different kind of version of Tour House because it's now fully Christmas decorated. So I might repeat a couple of things, but I think it's all about the new holiday decor. So this house, I found it 7 years ago. I've been working on it since. It's a 1937, owned only by a few people, and I knew that I wanted to keep it with the same footprint, but I wanted to make it more livable for my lifestyle. So I didn't want to change any of the wall spaces. I just kind of wanted to create new spaces that were a little bit more functional. The house is a bungalow style, so there was a lot of potential to adding a lot of textures and patterns, and we raised a couple of the ceilings, and we changed, of course, the main areas like the bathrooms and the kitchen just for it to be updated, but the main structure of it with the hardwood floors and the trim, we kept it all to the original of the house. Welcome to the living room. This is clearly the main room in the house, and I love the big impact that we were able to create with adding this garland going all the way to the ceiling. This is the first time that we've done it like this year, and I just wanted to make it a little different than we usually do. This room's theme, it's all about the citrus and the magnolia garland. So kind of added a little bit of that orange and yellow color that goes with the decor in this room. The way I like decorating is kind of coming up with a color story and adding layers of warmth and texture to that story. So the garland kind of goes with the Christmas tree and going into the same style ornaments. So we have all the fruits and like the green and blue color in the ornaments, and that ribbon that kind of complements the color in the fabrics in the room. So these are actually, some are real, some are not real. So I kind of wanted to mix it up. I love the smell of the orange with the clubs, which I do it yearly, and you'll see in the kitchen we have a couple of surprises in there. So some are real, but it would be impossible for me to keep all this for a couple months alive. So it has to be a little bit of a balance to make the not real ones feel like they are. So it's a little bit of both. I am definitely a white light guy because I think the ornaments and the ribbon and the bows is what should be shining on it. I do have a color light tree outside that actually doesn't have ornaments. So I feel like it kind of has to be a balance of, do you want your ornaments to be the ones shining, or do you want just the lights to be the focal point in the tree? So, and since we're here, we can talk about, I love coming up with a color story also for your gift wrapping. I think since you're gonna have your gifts for a couple weeks under your tree, it's kind of important to turn them into like something beautiful you're gonna be looking at, and also your people you're giving their gifts to enjoy something pretty to open. So this year I went with something gold with a little bit of a mustard velvet ribbon, and every year is a little bit different. Oh, the design of the paper, it's kind of like just a gold leaf, kind of very like small pattern. I like how repetitive it is because it makes it a little easier for all the seams. But I think just the gold and the white is so clean, and you can add any color ribbon. This mustard color, I just thought about, it goes with the curtains. I just always want to think about the surrounding and where these items are going to be. So talking about a little bit more about the garland, we actually attached it to the chandelier. So we did zip ties at the very top link of the chain. The handyman that helps me with everything is the one that helped me install it. And I wanted to make sure that the chandelier could support this much weight. So we had to actually get an extra anchor on the chandelier to the ceiling. So they're all attached to the link. And then we did hooks in the corners that are attached with the red velvet bows. And I just think it's kind of like, it makes the ceiling go so high, and it's such a fun impact for this first room to walk into. And once you're sitting here with the fireplace, it just makes it so cozy, and I love all the texture on it. So walking into the fireplace, with all this garland, I usually do the garland around the fireplace. I thought it was gonna be a little much, so we just kind of like center it around the stockings. These stockings are just regular ones that I got online, but then I got this Samuel & Sons trim that I actually put on myself, just to dress them up. And again, bring the colors. It's not your typical like Christmas color, but I wanted to bring that orange gold color in the curtains just to make it all look very cohesive in the room. The emotion that I want people to have when they walk into the house is feel like they're special, when like that I put all this effort in making them feel special. I think when someone works so hard and like making it like kind of like fun and a little different every year, people kind of like, it's kind of like creates a game of like what's new, what's exciting. People just want to hang out. So that's kind of like the main reason I love doing all this work. So for people to enjoy it and kind of come in and see what's the new thing and what's the change this year. I think it's the same thing about decor, kind of like when you change things around your house for your own, it's kind of like fun to go back in and like see what's different and like just create a little bit of a different energy of something that you've had for a while. So another important element that I love doing is changing the little shades in the chandelier. We do it twice a year. It's just kind of a fun way to change the color and the mood of the lighting. This year we did kind of like a dark red burgundy color that matches the velvet ribbon in the room. It just creates the light a little warmer. It creates a little bit of a dressier light in the room. And that same ribbon color with the red kind of contrasts with the green and the wreaths, which I think the easiest way to hang a wreath on your window is through your rod. So that's kind of like the way that I did it throughout the house. And this room is green ribbon with just hanging the citrus wreaths on them. And it just kind of makes it a little bit of an extra layer when you're looking out. A very easy way to dress up a little scones or a little painting or a little wreath is just adding a little velvet ribbon. For these sconces, we just added the green one that we used in the windows, and it kind of just makes it a little bit more festive. It dresses it up, it gives it a little bit of a extra special little moment just in the light. We start decorating the day after my Friendsgiving, which is usually the second weekend in November. And it takes about a week and a half, on and off. But the Burkle creative team comes over and we kind of have like a little bit of a pre-holiday party. And everyone helps me put like the major things up. And then the little details kind of just, it's by myself kind of as I go during like the next couple of weeks. Now we're in the dining room, one of my favorite rooms in the house. I love throwing a dinner party and hosting people for like a fun time, a good conversation, cooking, sharing a meal. This year, I kind of made a little bit of a change in this room and added a lot more metallics and golds in this room just to make it feel a little bit more glam and special. This table setting, actually, I just put it for a dinner party that I'm having for a couple of friends that are coming from out of town for my Christmas party this weekend. I think it's important to set your table in layers and it not all matching. That's the way that I like setting a table, just so it feels a little different. For this table, the one piece that I started with was this little plate from Ralph Lauren with the little teddy bear. I just got them and I'm obsessed with them. And this is where I started building the rest of the table from. Another thing that I did this year that's a little new, something that again brings kind of like the theme from the living room to the dining room is, I did every guest's initials into the oranges. And so everyone knows where their table placement is. And it's something that they can just take with them. And again, it's all about those layers. This is actually a tree skirt that I used last year in my closet. And this year I'm using it as a tablecloth. I'll make sure it was clean. But it's kind of like, again, bringing those colors from the different rooms into this room and using different things in a, a creative way. This is just a wreath that kind of goes with the same wreaths throughout the house that just kind of helps like create a greenery or more dress up element to the table. Another way to dress up your dining room is adding little wreaths on each chair with a little bow. I think it kind of makes it a little special for each guest to have their own little wreath. I've actually used them before as their place setting, so you can just put like a little name card on each wreath. This year we're doing it a little different, but I love kind of like that dresses up your chairs. As I mentioned, the theme for this room was kind of like in the gold colors. So I love adding these little ornaments to hang to the chandelier, again, to dress up the lighting and make it a little special, adding the velvet bows on them and just hang them on it. All the ornaments in this room are in that gold, silver tone, all metallic, kind of dress it up, make it a little more glam. Of course, I needed to hang also ornaments on the reindeer over here, or the deer, and adding that ribbon again. These are mercury glass, so they get a little heavier, so it's kind of hard to hang them on the tree. So this was kind of like the perfect spot to dress up the bar on this side. With the same gold theme, this piece I just acquired this year. It's an urn from Noel Pittman, one of my dear friends. She had it in her shop when she opened this fall, and I could not say no to it. And it's kind of like the perfect piece for the holiday table. And it kind of goes great with the same gold color to the monkeys that I love. As I mentioned in my last tour, I love having little monkeys and turtles all around the house. Kind of creates a little like fun element to talk about, and you can even give them names and create little creatures in your house, which is kind of fun for adults and also for when my niece and nephew come over. It's really sweet for them to like think that there's little monkeys sitting on the table. I think it's also so fun to have an activity at dinner. So this year we went with a nutcracker theme popper. So every guest gets a different character from the nutcracker. And I just love them. I think it's so fun, and I think every single guest always kind of has a great time with them. It's kind of like a fun surprise, and it's a conversation piece. And I love these ones that I found that have a theme, and they're all a little different. So there are 5 Christmas trees in the house, 4 indoors, 1 outdoor in the backyard. The one in the backyard is the one that's the natural one. All the ones indoor are the fake ones. The tree in this room, I love how it feels a little bit more branchy, a little bit more organic, just with it being kind of like the dressier one of all the trees. I just wanted the tree to be like the least perfect of them. And I love the combination of that rust and coral color on the ribbon that brings in the color of the tablecloth that I'm using this year. It's also kind of like a complementary color to the black, and so it makes it a little bit more festive in this room. I love having kind of like a theme candle burning throughout the house. Of course, my favorite one is the Ralph Lauren Holiday, but with all the oranges and citrus, just the smell on the oranges with the cloves is so nice. It creates this really organic, nice scent throughout the house. They're a lot of work. I mean, my fingers were about to be bleeding, but I just love the smell that comes out of them. These little stoppers are one of my favorite finds. They came from Gallery Noir, one of my really good friends. There's actually a set of them. They're just really cute iron little dogs that, again, another little creature to add into a room for a conversation. And they're actually functional because this door actually kind of, because of it's an old house, this door kind of like wings a little bit, so it's kind of like a good weight to keep it open. I have actually 2 really big dogs, 2 Great Pyrenees mix rescues. They're usually not in the house doing the tour because they would be all about coming with us to every single room. But yes, there's 2 big dogs that live in the house. White, a lot of hair, a lot of work with the dark floors, but so worth it. I think the style for my Christmas decor kind of depends on the room. I think the living room goes very classic, old school, kind of a little more elegant. With the citrus, with a little bit more of like the classic colors. And then going room to room, I like changing it up a little bit. The dining room has a little bit more of a shine and glam with a lot of golds. And then you go into the closet, which I have a Christmas tree in there, and it's definitely more personal and it's a little bit more intimate and has all my personal ornaments. So it kind of changes depending on the space that we're in the house. But it definitely flows, and the colors go with the rooms, and the colors throughout all the decorations kind of like not match, but at least have like a little bit of a color story. All right, let's go into the kitchen where we sometimes cook, but it's mainly a bar where we mix drinks. All right, welcome to the kitchen slash bar. This is actually where we mix our drinks, and when we have people over, this is where everyone comes over at first. So we're actually hosting our annual holiday party this weekend, and we usually during the summer, other times of the year, we do a Paloma. This year, we thought we were gonna make a different cocktail that felt a little bit wintry. So we are doing a tequila cosmopolitan. So I was gonna mix one for y'all. It's a super easy drink that we just came up with. So it's 2 parts tequila, which Casa de Garlands is our favorite in this household. Tequila, 1 part Cointreau. And cranberry juice. So very simple ingredients. And then I'll do a little splash of lime juice that I had already squeezed just to be prepared and not be doing it as guests are waiting. Do a good shake. And such a pretty color. I just love a good color that goes with your decor. So, and then I'll do a little rosemary and some little seeds in there. So, super easy drink, and that's kind of a little holiday, and we're just ready to serve it to our guests. So that's gonna be what we'll be doing in the kitchen this weekend. I just love dressing up a drink. Like I feel like it always needs to have like a little bit of a ornament. So the little pomegranate and the little rosemary, I think kind of makes it a little bit more special. I mean, I think that tip number 1 for hosting a party when it's a big group is just making sure that everyone feels very comfortable. So make sure that they feel fine opening your fridge, or you have an open bar where people can mix their own drinks. Make sure you also ask for help. I mean, all your friends that come over that that you trust, make sure that they know where things are and that they can help you out with things. I also think that just to be prepared and have enough liquor and drinks and food is super important. I hate thinking that there's gonna be a guest that comes that there's not a drink for or like a bite that they can have. So just plan in advance. I think that's super important. Another part that I love doing with Christmas parties or parties in general is having kind of like a surprise element. So every year we do something a little different. Last year we had mariachis show up kind of in the middle of the party. This year we have a entertainer singer that's gonna be doing Christmas carols in the backyard. So I think that's kind of fun for people to kind of tell a story about, and feel special when they come to your house. Big thing that I always tell my clients that we help decorate, or when I decorate my house, I think that the kitchen is such a space that you spend so much time in during the holidays. Why forget it? And I think it's important also to think about elements that don't take over your workspace, that it's actually kind of going up or going around your built-ins, your stove, just so you don't feel like it's all cramped in, but make it feel special too. During the holidays, you're gonna spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So I think it's important to add it to your holiday decor room. And bringing kind of like the same theme with orange and everything, I decided to do some more of my leftover oranges for the kitchen. Again, every room needs to have a little creature, so why not a sea creature in the kitchen? This is a lobster, brass lobster that I found in Paris last year at one of the flea markets. She's one of my favorite pieces in the house. Holiday decor has been, and Christmas time, it's my favorite time of the year. I remember spending it at both of my grandmother's houses, asking them if we can set their trees, put their garland out. Of course, I was the first one at my house growing up, putting the tree up, wanting to go buy the tree and finding the perfect one. It was definitely something that I enjoyed doing as early as beginning of November, just to get everything set up and enjoy it for as long as we could. Clearly I do it here too, and at my house I guess I go a little overboard. just because I love having every single room have a little bit of a mood. So it's so fun. Now let's get into the bedroom area. Let me show you a couple of things. Welcome to the primary. As you can tell, I have a background with Ralph Lauren. I used to work there for a couple of years, and so that influence still comes into this house big time. In the bedroom, I kind of wanted to still make it feel very cozy. It's still holiday, so a very easy way to do it is just changing your bedding. I think just adding a little bit of a plaid with your normal bedding. I mean, this white sheets with the black blanket is what we have year round, but adding a little bit of red with the plaid is always so much fun. And you know, it's kind of nice to change it a couple times a year just to make it feel a little more special. Also the bedroom, I think it's kind of like a place like it's fun and cozy during the winter. So adding a couple of wreaths to the windows with the easy ribbon hanging from your rods. It's such an easy little add-on that makes the room feel so special. I think a bedroom is so important to keep clean, actually. I love having it like picked up all the time because it's kind of like my relaxing space. And so whenever you come into your room, you shouldn't feel like stressed that you need to be cleaning up or picking up things. So most of the time, a little bit of my mess is in the closet. But the bedroom, I try to keep up as clean as I can and make the bed every day. I love having a lot of pillows on the bed and adding a lot of layers and patterns to all the accent pillows. I'm a very easy bed maker. I just like folding my duvet in 3 at the bottom, blanket and sheets, and then a ton of throw pillows on there. One of my favorite places to sit at is actually in the bedroom. So I love having some comfortable chairs in here. These ones I found at Scout this year actually, and the color was already perfect. This is a place that I love coming and putting my shoes on, having a seat at the end of the day and watching a little TV. And then I have my little third eye to keep the evil eye out of this house. So I got it in Greece a couple years ago, and it kind of just, it's a fun little piece to keep in the bedroom. Another piece that I love in this room is this little camel stool. I found it at Round Top a couple years ago, and I just thought it was kind of like the funniest little thing. And it's actually very comfortable to put your feet up. It's funny because it actually, if you lift a little cushion, it kind of folds up, which is kind of really fun. I don't know if someone was traveling with it or where it came from, but I just love the little, again, creature that it turns into. So another element that I love doing in any room is using the ceiling as the 5th wall. In this room, I decided to add this plaid that has a little bit of a dark gray black pattern on it. It just creates that extra layer of kind of luxury and coziness in any room. I love painting the ceiling. I love adding wallpaper to the ceiling, adding medallions. It's kind of like that extra special moment that, you know, if it's just white, it kind of just disappears, but there's so much more that you can do with it to create another design element. Just like in any other room in the house, I like adding a little bit of a garland and some Christmas lights. So in here, the mirror that I finished, like my last like tie by tie or little details, I like having a little bit of that light glowing in the morning, and also at night, just finishing the day while I'm watching TV. It's kind of fun to just have it on and feel the holiday spirit in here. Also, I like changing the pillows. That's such an easy way to like create a little decor just with the bedding, just adding a little bit of an accent in your bench in your bedroom, or like a little blanket just to throw it. It's so easy to just add a little bit of a holiday motif in each little corner. We have one more tree in the inside of the house, and this is actually the most special tree to me. It's the one that has all my special ornaments, and it is actually in the closet. So if you want to follow me, welcome again to the closet. And this is my favorite tree. I think your closet is like your most personal and intimate space. This is where you keep your favorite things and you know, where you get ready and start your day. And so this tree is actually the one that has all the ornaments that have a little bit of a meaning or have a little bit of a story behind them. Clearly it's the most packed tree in the house, and it's the one that takes the longest because I love kind of opening each ornament and, you know, thinking where it came from and the story about it. So my favorite ornaments are these needlepoint ornaments that my friend Kathy makes for me every single year. And she's so thoughtful. Whatever's happening in my life that year, she'll do an ornament that has a story with it. So the year that I did Kips Bay, she needle pointed the Kips Bay logo into an ornament. Of course, she did the slippers. There's a tag, like a traveling tag. Every single year there's something different that she makes for me, which is super special. The other favorite part of this tree is I didn't put a star in this tree. I actually did a top hat. It is my great-grandfather's hat when he got married. My grandmother gave it to me, and it's one of the most special things in the house. And so I love it that it kind of goes in theme with the closet and the lights that are in this room. So just to keep it a little interesting and fun and, you know, have a purpose for that hat to find a little home during the holidays. There are a lot of shoes in this closet. That is the one thing that's like my weak point. I have a little bit of an obsession with stubs and woodens, of course. And then also Sabahs, based here in Dallas. I'm all about a slipper and an EC shoe that has a little bit of statement. I love wearing something kind of fun that creates a little bit of conversation. And I think it's kind of like a thing that now people talk about, that they're like, well, how many shoes do you have, or what shoe are you going to wear today? So it's kind of a fun element to wear, and it's kind of like a fun conversation starter. I think people like talking about what shoe am I going to wear. There are a couple that could be Christmassy. I think the green velvet with the martini is definitely a holiday shoe. And then there is the, well, the salamander kind of is a little holiday-ish. I think those are kind of like the most holiday ones. I thought there was one more. Oh, there's a black martini. And then there's the crest with the little green and red. Usually when I wear it actually comes out like the day of or like 10 minutes before. That is not something that I plan. I plan the decor, the food, the drinks, but what I'm gonna wear is just kind of like a last minute thing. You know what, sometimes I regret that I don't do it with enough time, but that is something that I hope I don't have one more level of stress. I try to not. A new element that I added in the last year to the house is I added this wallpaper to the ceiling. It's from House of Hackney, and it's kind of looks like a Persian rug. I love how cozy it turns this room into. It kind of even makes it feel like a little bit of you're wrapped in a little gift or present. And I love how warm it gets it. And a little detail that I want y'all to look is my friend Ashley, who does all my murals. She paints over your fire alarms or your air vents. So I play this game with my niece and nephew, like to look up and see if you can find their alarm box. It's actually complete camouflage when you look up at it. So it's one of my favorite patterns. All right, let me show you a couple of things in the den, which is actually the second bedroom of the house. I decided to now have a TV in the living room, and so I turned the second bedroom into my den / kind of like cozy watch TV room. This is one of the rooms that I spend the most time in. It's super dark and cozy, and it kind of super easy to just lay down on the couch and watch a movie for hours. So again, this is another pattern in the ceiling, fifth wall. We went with a blue theme in this room. And then for the holiday decor, I decided to do a black watch pattern. So all the ribbon in the tree, the ribbon in the wreath, and the pillows in this room are all black watch. Again, very influenced by a Ralph Lauren preppy look. So in this room, I love, it's very personal and I love the art. This is a painting that my grandmother did of herself, so it's her self-portrait. And she was an artist, and she painted her father, who is my great-grandfather, whose hat is on the tree. So it's one of the paintings that means the most to me, and I barely got to meet him. I was very young when he passed, but everyone in the family says that that's who I remind them the most, so I love that connection to him. All right, let me show you something real cool. This is a TV room, but I also don't want it to look like it's a TV room, so I have the Samsung frame, and I got this easel made just for it to look like it's standing on like a wood easel and not just the legs or hanging on the wall. I just wanted to make sure it looked like it was a piece of art. Before we head out, I'm gonna show you the bathroom. This is a project that I did a couple years ago where we remodeled and recreated the space, creating a wet area and then using these vintage antique chests, turning them into the vanities. This is a mural done by Ashley Braithwaite. She was in here for about 3 weeks painting the walls, and she came up with this theme of English garden. I love the colors that she used. It's all about that green, beautiful color with a little bit of a gray that brings in some of the subway idea, old school. I love adding eucalyptus in the shower. Either it's hanging from your shower head or having it in a base. It just makes it feel like it's a little spa, and it smells amazing in here when the steam is going. This is one of my favorite spaces that we've created in this house because it kind of completely reworked what the old bathroom, the single bathroom that was in the house for the primary, kind of created a space that's a little bit more functional. Wet area, it's kind of really nice and functional. I love that this shelf kind of holds some of the things that I use daily. And I love having the candle lit in here and just holding a little plant, and it turns into a little moment to make it feel a little more special in here. It's all about those layers, including in the shower. Welcome to the pool house. So this is where we host our parties in the summer, but also in the winter. We've turned it into another little Christmas moment. Again, this tree is kind of like going with the room, just like I like doing in the room insides that go with all the colors. This blue room kind of inspired me to do a blue themed tree with all the ginger jars and all the blue motifs with, again, that blue ribbon. One of my favorite things about this tree is actually the base. I love how this planter kind of helps not having a table skirt and not see the base of the tree. So this tree is kind of like more in the blue tones, kind of just going with the new color in this room. This used to be my office and it was all white. We needed to be able to see everything, picking fabrics and wallpapers and everything. So now that it's back to a pool house, I decided to go with this darker, moodier room. And that's how this tree came along. All this blue and white with the ginger jars, with the chinoiserie motif was kind of like inspired by the color of the room, kind of like the same way that the other rooms work, with the blue ribbon, with the TV room, or the more warmer colors with the fruit in the living room. This is kind of like how I decide to decorate each tree, just so it feels like it's part of the decoration and it's not just like an addition for the season. So that's kind of like the best advice that I can give my clients is like, make it feel like it belongs in the room and it's not just an addition for a couple of weeks. All right, and over here I have this dollhouse that I've been working on. It is a gift that I'm working on for my niece Vivi. I found this amazing antique shop in Mexico that has a great collection of antique miniature furniture. And so I bought a couple things last time I was there, and just starting to get the collection going for her. One of my favorite things to do during the holidays and during our party is serving Raising Cane's. We go and order 200 chicken fingers and we just keep them warm throughout the night as people come in and out during the party. And we tried serving them in kind of like our nicest silver and our hot plates and some of our nicer dinnerware, just to make it feel like it's a nice holiday meal. But it's the simplest, and everyone loves a good chicken finger. It's a tradition, so usually our invitation says canes and cocktails, come from 6 to 10. We just love having that tradition and everyone knowing what they're expecting to eat that night. And then I don't have to cook. I don't have to cook anything. I just go pick it up. We do have a dessert table set with some of my favorite holiday treats, and we fill it up with everything from cookies to gingerbread to everything that you can imagine. A lot of sugar just to make the calories count during the season. Now let's go see the final tree. This is the real tree in the house, so let's go. So this is our outdoor area. We built this a couple years ago, and it's kind of like the most used space in the house. We love hanging out here during the summer with the pool and during the winter with the fireplace. And so this is where we do our natural tree. We go and pick it up the day after Thanksgiving, and we trim it, and this is where we add color lights, no ornaments. So it's all about that fun, vintage light bulb look out here, and we still get to enjoy a natural tree without having the mess inside of the house. So kind of like the best of both worlds. Since we're so lucky to be in Texas, we'll usually get pretty nice weather beginning of December. So this is kind of like the area that we like hanging out, and this is kind of like where people congregate during the party. This year we'll be having live music. We're having a stage built in the patio, and there will be carolers in the front. So very excited to host all our friends and family and have a great time this weekend. I think the thing that I love the most about the holidays is having your loved ones around and making them feel special in the spaces that you've decorated to make everyone feel super welcome. I think having everyone over and having a drink or having a dinner party or having my niece and nephew come over and look at the Christmas trees is kind of like the most special part about it. I think it's kind of like a time where everything feels a little bit more positive and everyone's a little bit happier, and it just feels like the energy is just a little different, and it's nice to have that little break to be able to end a good year with.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.